Good morning and good afternoon, good evening, or uh, um, as a usual. Um, First, we must generate motivation of the bodhicitta, or as um, um, or you can say altruistic motivation. Because even we have all the right condition, if we don't have a seed of bodhicitta, it's really difficult to say from our practice can achieve the Buddhahood. There's a story. One day, Adisha was really disappointed, feeling show up, and when he was in Tibet, then one of his disciples asked Master what happened, and he said, "I have one disciple in India. He practiced one of the highest yoga tantra, but because of the lack of complete condition, I think maybe lack of bodhicitta, he only achieved the arhathood." So that is showing us if we don't have a bodhicitta, then it's like that even we meditate on the deity, it seems like soulless body, because the all the body or enlightened manifestation is a manifest from the bodhicitta. It's called the embodiment of the bodhicitta. All the enlightened form, they like a rupakaya, or can call the nirmanakaya or sambhogakaya. They are form of a bodhicitta. Without the bodhicitta, they will not manifest. So and that is showing us without the bodhicitta, no one will achieve that state of the Buddhahood. So the reason bodhicitta is the main seed of the achieving Buddhahood. So that way, we need to generate bodhicitta. And the second reason is if we, aim our action as a higher mental attitude, result will give the higher. But if our aim or mental attitude was lesser superior, can say lesser superior or lower, lower intention.
Superior.
With the lower intention, even you do same amount of action, result will give the small. So the reason intention about what kind of intention you have as a change, as a result of that action. So this reason, in the generally being Buddhism, we need intention as a renunciation. And particularly being Mahayana practitioner, we need intention of bodhicitta. So any kind of, even the small amount of a merit, like a one recitation of mantra, must supported by the intention or altruistic motivation of bodhicitta. So that way, as a this with the thought of bodhicitta, and we think we what called visualize as I want to lessen this teaching for liberating every sentient beings. Why you want to take that responsibility is because every sentient beings wishing to be happy, peace, joy, but most of the their wish is happiness, but they mistakenly engaging on the cause of unhappiness. So that reason they are lack of wisdom. So that way they don't know the method to how to achieve the happiness. Uh, so the reason we are really fortunate one. We have enough sense of understand what is good, what is not good. We have enough sense of understand what bring us to true happiness and what is the main cause of suffering. And we have a sense of wisdom that can, understand of the true path of the true happiness. So that way, this kind of a fortune, this kind of a condition, happiness is not easy. That way, it's called the precious human body. We are the precious one. In the Tibetan, it's called the Rinpoche. So Rinpoche means that someone is really precious, someone is really valuable. So our human body with this kind of sense of wisdom have a great value. So that value we must use. So that way, even you may feel like, oh, I'm really, destitute in the samsara. I'm really miserable in the samsara. I'm really suffering. I have a lot of this problem, and you may sometimes feel kind of like what called yourself as a low, yeah. Yeah, but still, if we compare to the rest of sentient beings, and what we have this opportunity or chance of something can do great benefit for, future as not many people, not many sentient beings have that kind of ability. So that way we have to be joy, or we have to be, rejoice with our own value, our own ability, our own quality, and without wasting that value, and we have to pursue the happiness. So that reason we need to learn the Dharma. We need to practice the Dharma. Without the learning and practicing Dharma, there's no other way to achieve the true happiness. So the reason we are practicing Dharma, main reason is so we have this precious human body. But if we're not recognizing this precious, what is the precious, then it's the same as we don't have the precious human body. So have precious human body mean we have to recognizing its own value, and we have to utilizing that value. Otherwise, uh, uh, we are same as if we not recognizing the precious one, or we not utilizing the build house on the top of the jewel mine. And that means they put like a small cabinet or whatever on the top of the jewel mine. Rest of the life will stay poor. Even underneath of his property, there's a great treasure. Uh, not going to gain benefit from that treasure because of one not recognizing that treasure. Because of not recognizing the treasure, and the poor man couldn't use those treasure to pay the become rich. So same way, even we have this precious human body, if we not use, it's the same as we don't have this precious human body. So that reason we have to use. So how do we use? For what we have to use this precious human body is because of you have to recognize why we call this as this body's human body as a precious one. Why is it superior than God one? Is because the human body can practice the Dharma. So now is how we can practice the Dharma. what does the practice of the Dharma mean? So this is a practice of Dharma mean like a hearing, contemplate, and meditation. So first we have to hear those all the past masters' message, including the Buddha's teachings. These days, lots of people have this kind of sense of, oh, I know what is right, what is wrong. I don't need to listen anyone. I have sense of understand, people have this kind of attitude. If this sense of understand what we have right now is good enough, trust me, we will not hear. Yeah, we will be not here suffering, okay? This sense of understanding is not good enough. Or we may think, so I have the sense of understand, but maybe we have misunderstand. So that reason we're continuing wandering in the samsara. So that reason we need to rely on the trustworthy word, like a past master, like Lord Buddha, or all those past masters' teachings. They are trustworthy word. They are compassionate enough, they are wisdom enough, they are skillful enough to can guide us. So that reason we have to study, contemplate, and meditate on those teachings. So that is a similar way. Today we will go through this text called the treasure advice of what called the jewel treasure advice by Pentadama Raja. So why we have to rely on those past masters, including Lord Buddha's speech, is because mundane or samsaric sentient beings, our dialogue speech is not really trustworthy. Why is it not really trustworthy? Because we say or we do a lot of things that is not necessarily true. So we have a lot of misunderstanding. We have a lot of misconception about things that is not real, but we think we see as they are real. So that way, looked at this number 10, said, almost all speech is like the rapid, startling sound of a shell. It has no essence and result in mere deceptions. Investigate carefully. This is my heart's advice. So here, this is an example. Is one time, one rabbit was eating, I think drinking water actually from the river. So because of the water is running, and slowly, the bottom of the mud is cutting by water. So when mud is cut, and slowly a piece of mud fall down from the side to fall on the water. When it's on the top, fall on the water, it makes sound shell, So then Robert was so scared, run away. When Robert was running, other animal asked what happened, and he said, there's one really scary animal, it's called the shell. So then all the other animal also running after the rabbit. You can see on the forest, if one animal run without a reason, a rest of other around those animals, they run after the same way. So point is there's no scary animals. There are no dangers for the rabbit. It's just a sound made by the mud fall on the water. There are nothing that is away from. So it's a similar way, mundane beings, we have this, because of that we are deluded, because of our confusion, and we have a misunderstanding many times. So that reason, most of our dialogue, most of our chat, or most of our conversation not really have two meanings. Many of our conversation is based on the assumption assumption or based on the misunderstood or based on the confusion. So that reason there's no really no essence, mean that there's no really true benefit from that or true meaning there. So reason is we are because of our fears, because of our ignorance, and because of our confusion, and we have this fear or hope or those kind of feeling comes in the mundane one. So those cannot be trustworthy because it's not going to bring any what called benefit from that. This is normally we said it's the same like idle talk. Why? Because those idle talk, not going to make you, those not going to bring you any kind of result. Like I see in India, I mean, I think everywhere this is similar. People discuss in their when family dinner or other tea shop or coffee shops, they discuss about the politics. So we make lots of discussing and we said it should be this way. No matter how much we say, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to benefit anyone, except our emotion disturbed. Other than that, nothing result come out from our discussion. So similarly, most of our discussion have no meanings because it never changed, not going to change anything. Huh? It's not true? No, it's not going to change anything.
First comes the idea, then comes the action.
Yes, but no matter how much you say, it's not going to change the opportunity to see what's happening. So that is what it means. Unless you have a power, then maybe you can change. That is not idle talk. Then this have an essence. If you don't have, so that way, if you're talking on the street, something that's a really important one is about that is at like a tea shop or something. So I don't think so it's really that much benefit comes except your own argument. So that way nowadays when family gathering, they stop talking about the politic things because it's not really any benefit come out from that, but only come out from that is argument. So I think things like that. So basically what it's saying is whatever discussion goes between each other, family member or friend or each other, if there is have a really good from that discussion to if there can come something good result, okay, this is not like no essence. There's an essence. But a lot of our discussion have no result. No matter how much we discuss, it's not going to change the reality. So things like that, like family matter. If you discuss, there will come result because you can change that one. State level issue or the central government issue. If you discuss in the family house, and not going to get any change come out from that. So that is what it means. Some kind of discussion, some kind of talk, whatever we do, if there's no really result, meaningful result come out from that, then there's no point. So that way, here is saying is a lot of our discussion, a lot of our speech is really have no essence because it's not going to bring any result whatsoever. So that way, that is called a deception. Why is it called a deception? It's because we're wasting our time. Why is it called the idle talk? Because it's just no meaning. I normally said people like to Harry Potter books. No matter how many times you read that book, you never become a magician. It's called idle talk. There's no meaning, no essence. It's not going to benefit anything for you except short-term entertainment. This is like a what called a similar like drugs. Temporarily it make you numb. But after that, is nothing change, not going to change from that. So here is what is saying is not saying is don't talk. Okay. Here's what saying is don't talk things that is not really benefit for our future. Things that is not going to have any kind of result from that talk. So it's the same way. Even this giving Dharma teachings, if someone who doesn't want to change their mind, doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to be, change their thought, but still giving them them advice or Dharma teachings, is just meaningless. So in the Tibetan, we said, is it better try to make the smooth of the dry skin is easier than giving advice to someone who never listen. So that is, we waste our own time. So that is called what is mean that that kind of speech have no essence. I'm not saying it's every discussion have no essence. Of course, a lot of discussion have essence. All the good idea come from the discussion. That is not talking about here. Here is we have to make our own decision. We have to, what does bring us a benefit and what's not going to benefit. So that is that way said. Things that is bring us to benefit, truly benefit. Then that is called the with essence. Should discuss, should talk. But things that's not going to change anything, no matter how much we say, no matter how many times we say, and there's nothing going to be changed, come out. Then this is called the no essence. So I think this is you have to be maybe separate. So that is what I think similar like an idle talk. Okay, then number 11, I said, all the desire are like poisonous food. They are the cause of the non-virtue and cut the root of liberation. Applying vigilance without the distraction, this is my heart's advice. So all the desire like poisonous food mean the being attached, on the being attached to the sound, smell, taste, touch, whatever phenomena. There's a desire come from attachment, and that attachment, from that more we have attachment, rest of our afflicted emotion will increase. More our attachments are stronger, our jealousy is stronger, our aversion is stronger, our ignorance becomes stronger. So all those other negative emotion is become stronger and stronger, or greater and greater, based on the what kind of what called the attachment, desire we will generate. So so that way, with this kind of negative emotion, they are the cause of non-virtues, and cause of non-virtue, and cut the root of liberation. So from this negative emotion of attachment and a hatred, jealousy, then we creating the negative action, killing, sexual misconduct, stealing, lying, harsh word, all those physically or verbally non-virtuous action will start because of the negative emotions. And once we engaging in this physically or negative emotion continually, then it will cut the root of liberation. So root of liberation as a happiness as a come from the positive thought and meritorious activities. So since we have this negative emotion, we are not capable to do positive thought or meritorious activities. So that reason they cut the root of liberation. So it means like a if we take the poison, it take the life, our life, It means that take away our continuing of something. You know, the body is a continuing, that's called the life. So that continuum will be stopped when we took the poison. So especially in the Tibetan said hale. Hale is a hala uh, is a called the black aconite. This black aconite is a really strong poison, not just food poison. Black aconite is a strong poison. If somebody take it, could lose their life. So that kind of poison. So a desire is like that. Because of the this desire is the source of samsara. All the samsaric or other what called the emotion, negative emotion, and negative karma is created by this emotion of a desire. So that way is cut up the root of liberations. So long as we are this emotion, we never be so vigilance here is a kind of carefulness. We have to be careful, aware of what is good, what is bad. Because desire is sometimes it seems like it's a favorable for us. You know, we misunderstand. Oh, this is a benefit for me. It's giving me happiness. It's giving me joy, and this is helping me, not harming me. You know, sometimes we have this kind of sense of. So reason is because we don't have a vigilance or carefulness. You know, what is truly helping to us, and what is it, you know, truly harming us. We don't have that kind of distinguishing. So that way we need more vigilance. I think maybe this is the correct word, vigilance or carefulness. So without the distraction. So we are not careful, we are distracted. So that reason we have this emotion of attachment or desire. You know, I want this and I want that. So desire is a make us to never be satisfied with our life, never be you know, happy with what we have. We always want more and more, better and better, bigger and bigger. Those all is created by the desire. So that reason, actually, you know, as one example we can say, you already have one cell phone, okay, it's working. Nothing wrong with that. But because in the market there is a better one, so you need the better one. So you just give up the old one. You know, buy the better one, newer one. If you the new one, or you know, what called the better one, then you pay more money. So involve into that, you know, you have to work harder, you have to work more, or your credit debt is maybe have more. So this whole problem is created by the desire, not because of you need, because of your desire. If we need, then get that one. That's not desire, it's a necessity. You know, like we eating food, like when you go to buffet, for example, buffet restaurant, just get the food much as you can eat, you know, on the plate. That's not desire. That's just you taking what necessity. But sometimes people put more than what they're going to eat. You know, more than they can eat. That's come from desire. So Khenpo Rinpoche joke one time, said, sometimes when you go to a buffet restaurant, it makes you really miserable because you really want to eat more, because you can eat much as you want, but your stomach have limited space, you know. So your stomach cannot take, but you really want to eat more. So it makes you miserable. So this is that miserable is not because you need. That miserable is created by the desire. Unnecessary suffering is created by the desire. So that reason, I think we need to cut the desire. It doesn't mean that don't take care. Of course, you have to feed the body. You have to wear the clothes. You know, you have to protect. You have to take care. It does, but we have to need how to cut the attachment. So these two gap, you have to see what is a desire, what is care. You know, much as you giving to the body, what need is called the care. When you giving more than need, it's called the desire. You know, collecting things that what you need is called the desire. I mean the care. When you're taking more than you need, it's come from the desire. This desire as a human have the worst, I think, strongest. If you look those animals, once their stomach is full, they really relax. You know, they just, even the food is delicious, they just leave behind and go sleep, you know, rest. Human cannot sleep, cannot rest. No matter how much we gain, still we want more and more and more. We're never satisfied. We're never happy with what we have. You know, we want more, we want a better, we want a bigger. So that is it. And from that to create all, you know, our misery. So that reason we have to cut the desire, not the care. I think those two maybe should separate a little bit. So here said poisonous food. So poisonous food is those, most of the food, you know, that are not good for your health, they taste not bad actually. One day I was visiting one Tibetan doctor, and he said, all the food that your health tastes better. You want to eat them more than other food. So so I think that's true. Lots of vegetable that's good for your health, they taste not that good. But the things that is not really good for your health, and they are becoming really what call kind of seems delicious. So that is showing. So showing is a desire. Is a sounds beautiful, sounds nice, and it, you know, seems is good for you. You know, kind of helpful. But we without that recognizing. It will harm us, you know, ultimately it will harm us the same way, like similarly, like all the poisonous food, when they're eating, it's really delicious, you know, it's not really taste bad or anything, but it will cause us to big damage, like you know, like people with the diabetes, if you eat the, you know, ice cream, it tastes nothing like wrong, you know, taste will be good, but it can kill you. People with a blood pressure, if you drink coffee tastes good, but it can kill you by that blood pressure, you know. So things like that, whatever causing us to what called big damage with our health, those food are taste not really bad. They taste pretty good, most of them. So same way, desire is you know, seems really good for us. You know, something is positive for us, something is helpful for us, but actually it is really harming our spirit, harming our, you know, life, destroying this life's happiness. How to destroy is no matter how much you have, you cannot enjoy with that because it's not good enough. You always thinking something else. You live in the house is perfectly livable, but it's not good enough. You want something else bigger than this, better than this. So that way you have no time to enjoy with that. So that is what it means to kill your happiness. You know, so what you eating, you know, where you living. I saw committee. He's come from migrant from a different country, and you know, he said 2008, when he come to the England, and people are really kind of like a, what called it, stress, because they said Great Depression. Is it Great Depression? Depression, or what called that? The 2008, we had a big one.
Depression.
Yeah.
Recession.
Recession. Oh, great recession is coming. He said, I don't see any recession here. Everything is perfectly livable. So that is it. You may, lots of people who never been outside of this United States, you may think, oh, I have nothing good in this and that. But if you go in the other country, then you will appreciate how much you have a greatness here. So that is it. We need to appreciate what we have. Don't always desire something else.
That's what we need to be politically engaged.
I don't know that one, but so that way, I mean, desire is causing us to cannot be pleased with what we have, cannot be enjoy with what we have. We're always thinking, always looking, always seeking something else. So that is make us our life as a slave. 21st century is a slave. When you have a car, it's working, you can drive, but oh, I want a bigger one, I want a better one, I want a newer one. Then when you get in, you have to pay every month the, what called the payment and interest. So pretty much whole your life is you become a slave. Who make that slave is your own desire. No one else make. So that reason, I think we getting more than what we need is created by the desire, and that desire destroying our happiness. Truly, it destroys our happiness. So that's what means cut the root of liberation. Liberation or happiness is the same. So who destroy our own happiness? Ourselves, our desire. Because of our desire, we have jealousy, we have angry, we have hatred. All those emotion comes. So from that to destroy our own happiness. So that is what I mean, cut the root of liberation. Okay, then number 12, the result of the virtue and non-virtue are like the shadow of the flying bird. We may not see them now, but they will appear at the time of the death. Make effort to abandoning non-virtue to accomplishing wholesome deed. This is my heart's advice. So when we do negative or positive deed, karma, action, it's not going to show up the result immediately. Sometimes, it's kind of despair. So this is the same as when bird flying. When bird, like not just only small bird, even the airplane, they are really huge, yeah, gigantic. The airplane is really big, but once they fly high enough, you not see the shadow. So when you not see the shadow, it doesn't mean that that airplane or the bird doesn't have any more shadow. The shadow is become invisible. Okay, shadow is become invisible, that we're not seeing. It doesn't mean it's just disappeared. Similar way, from karma or good or bad, from accumulating to until the result come, period of time, you will not see it continually. It doesn't mean that it disappeared. Some point it will come back. One thing is here said it will be appear at the time of the death. Because at the time of the death, what kind of a life you live will show through your own expression, how to deal with the death. This is, I think, pretty much everyone have people who doing all those bad things in life, on their life. At the time of the death, they have a really miserable death. scary, fears, and they're screaming, crying. Those all because they see already future result, what kind of result going to come from their action. And people who truly kind-hearted practitioner, they die with a smile. They die really relaxed. So that one, at the time of the death, no one can fake they are truly practitioner or truly evil. Because when we're alive, sometimes even we're truly evil, we can show up like a compassionate one. And some are truly great practitioner, but they don't show up that they are, who they are. Truly, we not see that one. But at the time of the death, as a result, is a show that they're different. One is that one. And two is also, we can see this way. In our life, we have a lot of experience, which is never find the answer why it happened. We don't have an answer for that. Many incidents in our life, good and bad. Sometimes we have, no matter how hard we work, never be successful. Sometimes we never try to do anything, but really all good things come around. Many of those things they have to do from the past lives, karma. So from there to until now, it's like a bird flies so high that not appearance of the shadow. But then when come time to ripening, it never miss, to that A person's karma never ripening to the B one. B person's karma never ripening to the A. A's karma, whatever karma, good or bad, will ripening result of good and bad to the A. And B is also same that way. So this is one. So when it come closest to all the condition, then it will ripening. All condition come together. So same way, like when condition of the earth is close, come bird shadow show up. So those are this kind of karma. Even 10 Bumin Bodhisattva, I cannot escape from that karma if he created, he or she. I mean, mostly 10 Bumin Bodhisattva are not going to create it, that kind of negative karma. So there's a life story you can see, like 1 year, Buddha need to eat the only rotten animal food, rotten one, because there is a drought in India, no rain. So nobody offering food. So Buddha never found, so Buddha need to eat that one. And there's another time Buddha was walking on the street and that thorn come after the Buddha. Buddha tried to run away even to the 33 guard realms. The thorn came after the Buddha. So finally Buddha had to step on that to make him injured. So those are when he was an ordinary life, Bodhisattva life, he makes some mistake. Those mistake results still coming after. So after long, many years later, still coming to Buddha. So that reason in our life, good or bad, many of those, experience are, maybe some are created many eons ago. Maybe some are created many lifetimes ago. Maybe some are created in this life. So it may take long time or result of the good or bad karma, or sometimes it may come quicker, but it never will be missed on that. So that way, whatever we do, there will be always have consequences, from our good deed. Even no one appreciate whatever you do. Don't worry about that, because the result of that good deed, karma, is only come to you. Even nobody appreciate, it's okay. The result will ripen only to you. When we do something bad, even nobody knows our mistake. Yeah, but you don't think as oh, nobody knows, so I'm free. You never were free. the result without mistakenly come to us. So with the others knowing or not knowing, it doesn't matter. From the good deed or bad deed, result will come soon or later. So when you're not seeing the temporarily that result, it doesn't mean that there will be no result. So that way, we have to be effort. So said, make effort to abandon the non-virtues and accomplishing the wholesome deed. So virtues, whatever good, So like generally we said 10 non-virtues, yeah? Killing, sexual misconduct, stealing as a physical 3. From speech, lying, idle talk, harsh word, divisive speech, 4. And from the mind, covetousness, harmful thought, wrong view. This is called the non-virtue. Why? Because those actions only bring to the unwholesome called the result. So that way called that they are non-virtue. When you're avoiding them, you are stopping yourself engaging those non-virtues. It's called the virtues actually. Stopping alone. That's called the discipline. That's called the moral ethic. That's virtue. And on that, if you can do something more like practice of the giving generosity, practice of the moral ethic, or practice of the, saving others' life, then that's more great. But even you cannot do other, but long as you are, disciplining your body, speech, mind, that, from those 10 non-virtue, that's called the virtue. So that will have a result of the happiness or, joy from that. So that way, that's what it means that make effort. Why we need make effort to this avoiding the non-virtue and try to do virtues? Because we are in the samsara. Samsara being is really have a great habitual tendency of doing bad things. When we do bad things, they really easily come. Idea come really easily. You don't need effort. Naturally comes because of our habitual tendency. So that way we need to put more effort because we are not familiar with a good deed. Make sense? So that reason we need for the effort. If something is really easily come, then you don't need to put effort. So like this is not really directly related to that one similar. You see, Kamabhati meditation, the 9th stage. At the beginning, there's a fire, you see, yeah? Then slowly fire is disappeared. Because at the beginning, it's really difficult. So need fire over effort. But once we're doing continually, then we don't need that effort. Naturally comes. So that way, this is not easy to do lots of things like this. But when we put effort, one day it becomes easy. One day it becomes natural. Number 13, accumulated wealth is like honey gathering by the bees. We are bounded by it, and it is a free taking by other. Therefore, accumulate the merit through the practice of generosity. This is my heart's advice. So when people are accumulating the wealth, at at that time, so busy, life is so busy, they don't have time to anything else, you know, they don't have time to take care of the family, they don't have time to spend with the kids, they don't have time to, you know, do anything else, including don't have time to take care of their own health. So busy to accumulate the wealth. So it's like a honey, bees, you know, whole summer so busy to run here to try to collecting the honey from the essence from the flower and make honey whole year. And we are bounded by it, means there's nothing else, there's a time. You know, just completely caught up with that, completely, all our time is it took up on that. Consume all our you know, time with this job. Then one day we will leave, then somebody will take the freely taken by others. So I heard there's one story in China that one guy, he become really rich working so hard. Because he's worked so hard, he died really young age. And he have a driver. So slowly driver fall in love with his wife, the dead man's wife, widow, and they get married. And one day the driver said, until now I thought I'm working for my boss, but I didn't know that he was working for me. So like this, you know, we may become like that. There are many people who make lots of money to work whole life, and when they get retired, they died. You know, so it's just like no matter how much we accumulate, more than what we need, come um, because of you know, sufferings. So I always think this way: wealth have two kind of wealths. One wealth is a result of your good merit. That way you have a wealth. But another one is a wealth is a curse. You know, you are totally cut up with that. You have nothing to, you know, take care of anything, including your health. So like you couldn't escape from there. You're totally cut up. Sometimes we have that kind of situation in our life. It comes, you know, we couldn't leave that one, but that also make you really miserable by staying there. So that reason, so when we have this kind of accumulated wealth, how we can use meaningfully this whatever wealth we have. I mean, wealth happen as nothing wrong with that. Okay, this is not like a negative result or anything. So when you become a wealthy, it's a good result because you did something good deed in your past life. You did generosity or something good practice. That way all the wealth come to you. Now you're going to use this wealth as a meaningful way, or you want to become like a bee. You know, if you become like a bee, you have only karma to collect them wealth. But when you collect it, someone else enjoy with that, without any kind of a benefit for you. So how you make that wealth as a meaningful or beneficial, as a practice as a generosity. So if you look in jewel ornament, Kambaba quote from the one sutra from Buddha, there's have a you know, benefit and falls of being generosity or not giving or not giving. So it said, if you give wealth to other, it have essence. If you keep in the home, it doesn't have essence. If you give your wealth to other, you know, being practice of generosity, it is your. When keep in the home is not your, because what is essence and is your mean, once you practice as like such as a generosity or offering something meritorious active from that wealth, definitely the result of that good karma will you take when you die. It comes with you. But if you leave home, leave behind you that wealth. One thing is that you don't have a good karma of giving because you didn't give that from your heart. You don't want to give anyone. So that way you don't have a good karma of giving to someone, even your family. And on that, if someone misuse that wealth in a wrong way, you are involved on that negative action. So that reason, you have to be wise to make a decision. I know someone, and she said her mom want to give her something. Then she said, "No, mom, I don't need this one." And mom said, "I want to give this to you when my hand is warm." It means she's saying, "I want to give you before I dead." Even mom knows she's only child, so mom knows that's going to her, but she was so this similar like that, yeah. When you even your family, if you give them, with the thought of a care or compassion, then you have a merit of a generosity. You practice generosity by giving. If you don't give them, when they die, they will take freely, and you don't have a merit of giving to them, and also they get that one. Make sense? So that way, this is doesn't matter it's to your family member or to who need one. If you have a more than you need, you should start practice of generosity, because that is what you will take when you die to your next next life, your next next journey. What you can take is nothing that your bank balance, nothing going to take your property, nothing going to take your name or anything except your good or bad karma. So if you do smart decision on your wealth as a practice of the generosity, then it come with you. You can take with you. That's your only wealth. What is really our wealth? You have to think this way. So what is really truly my wealth? Whatever we did good deed, that is only our wealth. So that way, in the letter to the friend, Nagarjuna said there's a 7 kind of wealth. Yeah, like a devotion, moral ethic, hearing, generosity, then I don't remember the rest is so there's 7 different type of wealth. Those are why it's called a wealth, because they are truly your, that result only ripening to you. So that way we have to practice of the generosity much as we can. And then when your hand is becoming cold, even you don't want to give, someone will take. Okay. Number 14, much of what we hope for and rely on is like a mirage. It will deceive and upset us when we need it most. Therefore, direct your mind toward the Dharma. This is my heart's advice. So look this way. I mean, our life is we're pursuing the happiness, yeah? We're looking at happiness. So when we're born, kids, they try to find that happiness by playing with a toy. Then after the few years, then they realize this is not that truly happiness can gain from there. Then start going to school to try to build, educated. They thought education is the find the true happiness. They go to school. And after they go to school, then also education alone cannot give you what you need. Then you have to find the career, job. Yeah. Then try to make, then your life, whole life, working, try to find happiness, and until totally exhausted. One day you will be totally exhausted, then you have no choice other than retire. So you have to retire. Retire means you're so tired. Yeah, tired, so you have to relax. So this, what we try to pursue in happiness, to try to find all those are try to find the happiness. I'm not saying it's they did not give you happiness, but then after that happiness you will retire. But then one day, of course, we all have to die. And at the time of the death, then you have to, what called, like look back your life and what you're taking with you. They're not nothing. All whatever we did in our life is that when we really need at the time of the death is most we need that how to show the happiness. They are nothing. Those all the material we accumulated did nothing help us to true happiness can give us one really need. I mean, even forget about the dying. When you have something, really bad news from your health, from your family or anything, then you have a mansions like house, big house. You drive a really expensive luxury car. All them not going to give you any kind of a sense of kind of peace and happiness. And you will feel they are nothing. They are meaningless. Because we think all those outer material will give us true happiness. They only sustain the life, not give you happiness. Happiness is have to give only from your own inside. So if you are not really appreciate with your life, if you're not really appreciate with what you have, if you're not appreciate with your, then you never become happy. Always be miserable, no matter how successful you become, no matter how rich you become. So that is what it means that we looking the happiness from the material, from outside. That outside material cannot give you true happiness. True happiness is it can give you the here said toward to the Dharma, I mean that they try to pursue more inner happiness. So how inner happiness can get is being kind heart, being compassionate, so those kind of a positive thought can say positive thought can give you true happiness. So that is what I mean the mind toward to the Dharma. It's not just saying recite the mantra, do retreat and this or that. Even you recite the hundreds of thousands of mantra, even you chant every day, if your mind is really erupted or disturbed with the negative emotion, you will never find the true happiness from that. What we seek in our goal is the only truly happiness. So by relying on the outside material to achieve the happiness is like mirage. Mirage just look like the water there. When you go to closer, it get further. You couldn't reach there. So all the materially phenomena or materially things that looks from the far looks beautiful. It seems they're going to give you great joy when you get closer to that one. If you chase them, they never come close to you. They go to further. Whole life you will chase after them and then you will exhaust it. Then retire and go to retirement community. Sometimes, some people smart one after retire, they have lots of time to practice Dharma. They dedicated their life, and they, end of their life, they pursue the true happiness. And some people totally, discouraged with that. Then, I'm a little bit not easy to how to. So point is, I'm not saying is we don't need material like like food and clothes and things like that. We need those, in life. So mm, there are many great masters, including the Lord Buddha. Buddha first did, without rely on anything, like including food, 6 years. Then Buddha said, this ascetic is a true extreme. This is not going to bring to the true happiness by treasuring this body. So you have to sustain your body, have nurture the body. You have to build the strength on the body if you want to true happiness, want to find from the mentally. So body's support is necessary for the mind's practice. So that way we have to take care of our body. Physically necessary things you need to know. You have to find them. But other than that, if you think you're dedicated your life to try to pursue the happiness based on the material, then it will never happen. Make sense? Yeah. So I think that is what it means, the saying is the hope and rely on is the mirage. When we try to, hoping and, hoping to true happiness can come from the material, it's like chasing after the mirage. Even this cherished body is like the an autumn flower in as instant is destroyed by the force of impermanence. Therefore, without wasting time, contemplate the death. This is my heart's advice. So this means that, no matter how much we try to take care, no one can avoid from the ending. Everybody have to go through that. That's nothing, nothing news actually. It's just always see that part of the reality. So, everyone who long as we are born, we have to die. So we have to think about that. Why we need to think about the death? Because when we think about the death, then we will prepare for that. So you will prepare for that. When you die, what will you take? Like if you need to go to the somewhere, you need to think about that. Then you will prepare the pack what you need. Otherwise, without your knowledge, if somebody take you, then you don't have anything with you. Make sense? So that way, this is like if there's a choice, you don't have to go, you don't have to die. Then it's a thinking about the death is a waste of time. No point. But doesn't matter you think about it or you don't think. There's no other option. By not thinking is not going to come. Yeah. So by thinking is not come also quicker. Or by not thinking is not going to come later. So when time comes, it will come. Thinking or not thinking doesn't matter. But if you think about it, you will prepare. You are ready, and you know what to do when it comes. So that reason, this also this one is not really saying is don't take care of your physical body. Physical body must take care much as you can. So that way in the Buddhism, we said we need to meditate on the impermanent and death. But same time, you see, they're called the healing Buddha, long life Buddha. Those are giving you blessing that you live long and healthy. Long as you can live, you must live with this body. Because in this body, we fortunate enough to meet with the Dharma. So this kind of fortunate is not going to come all time. So long as we live, we must try our best to protect this life. But at the same time, no matter how much you protect, you cannot protect from the death. You cannot escape. You cannot hide. No matter how skillful you can talk, you cannot make negotiation with the death. No matter how strong you are, you cannot defeat the death. No matter how fast you're a runner, those like Olympic world recorder, they cannot run away from the death, no matter how fast. Make sense? So even the Kung Fu martial art, Charlie, you cannot defeat that when actually death is come, So I'm not saying this. So that will come. It's not like news or this is not unusual. It's part of the reality. So and also death is we just call the death, but actually there's no such thing as a really death. Death means completely stop. Yeah. We're not really stopping. We're just moving on, We said, oh, this body is too old. I don't like this anymore, I want a new one. So it's the same. You're changing your body and changing your clothes. It's the same. But before you get rid of this old clothes, you need enough money to buy the new clothes, yeah? You said, oh, this clothes is too old. I don't like this, this and that, complain, and not have enough money to buy a new one. You will become a naked. So same way, we will get tired of this body. We will get tired of this body, okay? Sooner or later. When we get tired of this body, are you prepared for the next one? So that one. So thinking about the death it helps us to make sure have enough time to prepare for the next one. So death will come unexpectedly. When it comes unexpectedly, make sure you have prepared for the next one that ready to move on. So I think that is what I mean. This is not talking about some people think about the death. It's a really bad thinking. We already living. Don't think about the death. That's a really bad. Even some Tibetans said, this is not really bad. Actually, why? It's because a part of the reality. If it's really bad about the death is really bad, then you have to stop the cause of the death. So what is the cause of the death? The cause of the death is a birth. So you have to stop reborn in the samsara. Long as you are reborn in the samsara, you cannot avoid from the death. That's a part of the deal. Unnegotiable deal. So only there's a way you can avoid this one is make sure you're not born next time in the samsara. So nirvana is called the deathless state. Why? Because you can control your own element. You can control your own mind. So that way you can choose wherever you want to go. But right now we cannot choose. Why? Because our mind is controlled by the negative emotion. So that reason we have to think about the death. Contemplate this is my heart's advice. Okay, thank you. Today we stop here. Janjoy sem joy Rinpoche Manje Banai Je Joy Je Bai Nyam Bai Mem Bai Kone kondo pe wai shoy tata konde tam jeje tu sundo sabata yube jebe saban tata seje danje nyundo lana memba yanda ba sobe jenju rimbo je toba jo je sheja kunse kunje chuje je tende nela wando te kon Rinchen beje temba sede aba shedro to sang gombe zenjo